Hey guys, what's up? This is Morgan, head astrologer over at morganledinsights.com and the Insiders Club. Welcome back to the weekly astrology forecast. So, in today's video, we are going to be discussing the weekly astrology. We're going to be talking about the major transits, the major aspects. We're going to be talking about the different moon stations. We're going to be talking about the different lunar aspects. So, this is going to be a week where we are moving into a new energy, guys. There's going to be a lot of planetary shifts this week. So just want to go right off the bat and say there's going to be a lot of planetary shifts this week. So this should be a relief for some individuals who would like to take a break from all of the fire, who would like to take a break and kind of slow down and settle down and really start to ground and find a sense of comfort and find a sense of routine and really stepping into like this spring energy, stepping into this energy with a sense of intention, with a sense of security. A lot of people are not wanting to overdo it. We're starting to see where Aries season kind of put a lot of fire underneath us. So there was a lot of go, 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 go. There was a lot of experimentation. There was a lot of launches and releases, especially with Mars in Gemini. During Aries season, there was a lot of publishing. There was a lot of talking. There was a lot of putting things out there. A lot of people just are starting websites, podcasts, columns, articles. I've seen so many new people really start to share their voices in new ways. So Aries season was very productive in that sense. But for those who are ready for a little bit of a slowdown, who are ready to, spend time with loved ones and just kind of ground into your energy so that you can prepare for summer, because this summer is lit. Leo season is going to be very interesting with these aqua placements, and we'll talk about some other things. I want to do a summer preview video for you guys soon, so be looking out for that sometime late May, a summer preview to kind of give you a heads up for what's to come this summer. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this week's weekly energy. If you are new to the YouTube channel, this calendar that we are looking at is available to Insights members. So if you would like to support the work and become an Insights Club member, you can get access to this monthly calendar where it gives you interpretations and anything that's happening every single day in the cosmos. If it's happening, it's going to be on this calendar. So make sure you guys are taking advantage. I'm going to continue to just expand the calendar instead of just starting a whole bunch of different initiatives. This Google Calendar is you can do so much with this thing, and I'm really learning how ahead of the curve Google really is with this calendar, man, because I'm gonna be using this. So if you guys want some of these details and things like that, make sure that you go ahead and support the work and become an Insiders member. You can find that info in the description. So let's dive in. So the first day of the week, Monday, April 19th, we'll see here that the Sun and Mercury are going to move into Taurus. So at 6:29 a.m., Mercury is going to leave Aries and move into Taurus. Mercury will be in Taurus until, let me see, I can't see this. Until May 3rd. So this is going to be a period when we talk about Mercury. Mercury again is the planet of thought, the planet of communication. This is how we think. This is how we communicate. This is how we speak. This is how we process information. This is how we learn. This is our learning style. This is our communication styles. This is, our productivity level, how we organize things, how we manage things, how we manage details. All of this information is going to be coming from this focal point of Mercury. And now Mercury is moving into Taurus. So when Mercury was in Aries, when we think about the energy of Aries, Aries is cardinal fire. So Aries is all about initiation. Aries is what gets the idea going. So this is where we start to have these new ideas. This is where we start to come across new information. This is where we want to start to find information and think about ways in terms of our communication and self-expression that really portrays our identity, that brings more attention and more focus and more confidence to self. So a lot of people are wanting to focus on ways that they can improve themselves, and not just necessarily like improve themselves like Scorpio energy, where it's like more self discipline, more self control. This is more of just like, wanting to be more proactive, wanting to be more expressive, wanting to, share your personal thoughts more, wanting to communicate better, wanting to put your own spin on something. Mercury in Aries is really asking us to think about things from our personal perspective and pay attention to where, how we communicate with ourselves, but also the way that we communicate, how that looks, how that looks about us, like what we do and what we say, how that reflects on who we are as a person. A lot of your words and a lot of your interactions with Mercury and Aries is going to put a lot of display on who you are as an individual, and what holds weight for you, what is your focus, what is your prerogative, you know what I'm saying? But for a lot of people, Mercury and Aries is about fast communication, so there is a lot of speed when it comes to Mercury and Aries. You started to see that issues with like the mail and the education system, early learning and things like that, all of those delays and lags were really started to be cleared out during Mercury and Aries. Even when it came to like the music industry and being able to express themselves in front of people, and being able to express themselves in a different manner, in a more personal, more interactive manner, was more possible during Mercury and Aries, especially with Mars in Gemini. So with Mercury moving into Taurus, that that desire for speed and originality and having to be first and wanting to be first and wanting to show off what you know and all of that, that's going to kind of settle down when we move into Mercury and Taurus. And this is going to be a period where you really want to start to organize your thoughts. So all of those ideas, all of those that new information, you coming into more self-confidence in terms of your ability to communicate, your ability to express your gifts and all of those things like that. Is going to You're going to have to find a more sustainable way to do that. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be a more sustainable way to continue these efforts, because a lot of people, it was about speed, it was about doing it now, it's about getting it done. But now you're going to have to figure out a way to really keep that up, to maintain that passion, to maintain that sense of motivation, just because we're moving into fixed tours. But for those individuals who do have water placements, that are not Scorpio. So for those people who have water placements that are in Cancer or Pisces, this, Mercury and Taurus will sextile your water placement. So this is a period of support. So you will find the sense of grounding and stability. So just be mindful of that. But those with fixed placements, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, this is going to be a period where you may be feeling more challenged, or you may be having to do more work in terms of your communication. So there may be you may need to do some more research in terms of your budgeting. If you're looking into like gardening or your finances or anything like that, those with fixed placements are going to have to put a little bit more effort into their communications, into their ability to kind of process and share information, just because it's either going to square, oppose, or conjunct your fixed placement. So be mindful, guys, as we're going through this video, what's happening for you in your chart. But Mercury and Taurus is a really good time to, again, really focus on your finances, budgeting your finances. This is a really good time to read, for those individuals who like to read for pleasure, who like to read for leisure. This is a really good time to go to bed at night with a good book and a good cup of tea. Just something to really relax you, to keep you balanced, to keep you really grounded. But this is also a period too where people are going to want to be more detailed about their schedules, and they're wanting to be more precise, and they're wanting to be more informative, just because the opposite sign of Taurus is Scorpio. So underneath that desire for fact is a desire for like understanding, like really wanting to understand something. So a lot of people are going to be studying theory. This is going to be a period where Mercury in Taurus really introduces us to theory and traditional practices, and people are wanting to really learn how to do things step by step. So it's like if you're trying to learn how to read a birth chart, you wouldn't just go right into interpretation. You are going to be really studying the planets, the signs, the aspect, the houses, the minor aspects, the rulerships, and how all of those different things interact. This is the process in a period with Mercury and Taurus is really encouraging us to really break things down and to study them piece by piece and then bring them into a whole collective. So be mindful of that. Be mindful that any project or undertaking that was accepted when Mercury was in Aries is now going to require you to really be patient and to do things step by step and focus more so on efficiency rather than speed. You get what I'm saying? It's not about when you're launching it, but it's about how you're going to launch this thing and how you're going to maintain it. And the value, really, to me, a lot of this is more based on value. The collective is going to be how valuable is this to me? How does this increase or decrease my personal self-worth or my financial standing? Like, people are really wanting to know, what is the value of this information? What is the value of this conversation? What is the value of this car? Some people may be appraising their assets and things like that with Mercury and Taurus. And then the sun is also going to enter Taurus too on Monday the 19th. We'll see the sun will move into Taurus at 4:33 p.m. So the sun will be in Taurus until May 20th. So this is going to be a period where we are moving into the season of the Taurus baby. So if you are a Taurus sun or a Taurus rising or a Taurus moon, there's going to be a lot more focus on you, especially by Taurus rising, because the sun, Mercury, and Venus are going to be transiting through your whole sign first house of self. So if you are a Taurus or you have strong Taurus placements in your chart, especially those individuals who are in this first decan of Taurus, so the 0 through the 9th degree, this is going to be a very important and prominent week for you regarding your Taurus placements, because Mercury and the sun are going to be moving through those first couple of degrees. So especially if you have 0 to 3, 0 to 4 degree placements, this week is going to be huge for you. Just because, make sure you look, because Mercury and the sun are going to at some point align with those Taurus or those fixed placements. So if you have placements in Taurus, it will conjunct your Taurus placements in the early degrees. If you have them in Scorpio, they will oppose your Taurus placements in the early degrees. And if you have placements in Aquarius or Leo, it will square your Leo and Aquarius placements in early degrees. So knowing your chart, guys, having your chart handy so you know the degrees of your placements, not just the signs, is key when we're doing these weekly videos, because it will kind of help you in your own personal chart. So Taurus season kicks off, guys, on the 19th. I'm not going to go too deep into that, just because I will do an individual video on Taurus season by itself, like I did Pisces season. So what else is happening on the 19th? The moon is also going to be leaving Cancer on the 19th. So the moon will move into Leo actually on the 20th. So from 8:04 p.m. until about 2:10 a.m. The moon will be void, of course. So for the majority of the day, the moon will be in Cancer on the 19th. So there's going to be a lot of focus on the home. People are still going to be feeling a little sleepy. If you have children, if you own a home, this could be a period where you're working from home, or you took a day off. People are just really trying to kind of get back into their groove. Pluto and the moon will oppose each other. Let's see at what time. At 8:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on 4/19 on Monday. So Monday night is tiresome. Some of you could be working later. Again, just make sure that you are getting your rest, because this is going to be occurring at the 26th degree of comfort. So a lot of you are learning where you need to kind of slow down and Some of you may be thinking about outsourcing some of your domestic responsibilities like cleaning, and some of you are really going to be, especially with the sun moving into Taurus this week, a lot of people are going to be thinking about like meal preps and their food and their relationship with just overall productivity, because you're going to start to realize, how much time a lot of these responsibilities and these tasks really take. So some of you are going to be looking into outsourcing some of your domestic responsibilities at home for your business. Some of you are going to be outsourcing for your business, or some of you are going to also be looking into outsourcing for your children as well. So that is going to be happening, guys, on the 19th. But on the 20th, the moon is going to be moving into Leo. The moon will be waxing, and it actually will reach its first quarter moon phase. So the moon and this and the sun are actually going to square one another. So people who have placements, again, fixed placements at that 0 degree, because this first quarter moon is going to be at this 0 degree. So there is a breakthrough in our terms of our creativity. A lot of people are going to be having some serious creative breakthroughs in terms of where you may have been stuck creatively, where you may be feeling stuck in terms of just your overall sense of passion. A lot of people are going to be feeling a little burnt out, by their careers or by their current income streams. And more people are going to be looking to this life of like, where can I create profitability through my love? Where can I create more financial freedom through my passions, or how can I finance this creative project, or how can I make this thing more profitable, or how can I spend more time with my children? How can I prioritize spending more time doing the things I love? A lot of people are going to be asking themselves, like, what do I need to do in my house of Taurus, right? Because we're thinking about the sun's in Taurus. So this is where you're putting your focus. This is where this is your desire. This is what you're wanting to become. So right now you're wanting more leisure. You're wanting more financial flexibility. You're wanting more comfort and just downtime. You know what I'm saying? So this moon in Leo is really going to be asking you and really helping you realize like where you want to have more flexibility in terms of your just joy, where you want to take more risk. Some people are going to be wanting to, Leo is all about speculation. So it's in gambling and high risk, spontaneous activities that can end up in like high enjoyable moments. So like winning the lottery would be something considered to be associated with Leo and Sag, Leo and Jupiter. And so, thinking about those areas of like profitability where you can bring more increase to your life is what's going to be highlighting for a lot of folks. And again, this is going to be coming from your house of Taurus. Your house of Taurus is where you're asking yourself, like, what can I do in this house to really bring more creativity and fun and give my house of Leo more room to breathe? You get what I'm saying? So, and this is going to be showing up this summer. So that's why if you saw the tweet, I said, pay attention, guys, around this period, like the 20th, the 21st, even really the 22nd, what you are really wanting to do, where your sense of desire is, where you're wanting to feel more joy, where you're wanting to feel more laughter, what's going on in your love life, what's going on with your kids, what's going on with your house of Leo. Look at your house of Leo and see what Leo rules in your chart, and ask yourself, what are the themes? What's going on in this house? And write it down, because those are going to be some of the major themes that you're going to be working through when when the new moon in Leo and the full moon in Aquarius hits this summer. So if you know what's going on now, because this is where the sun in Taurus is challenging your moon in Leo, this is where you need to bring some stability to that house of Leo. So if you can start to stabilize that house of Leo now by trying to figure out how you can merge your house of Leo and your house of Taurus. So let's say, for instance, my chart, Taurus is my 8th house, rules my whole sign 8th house. So that's my house of shared resources, investments, my self-improvement, all of those things like that. So for me, finding more stability, eliminating debt, also increasing my income streams, maybe getting an investor, or just managing my money overall, managing my money better, creating more self discipline around my money, really just leveling up in that aspect is really going to help my 11th house of Leo so that I can have more flexibility and creativity through my platform. You get what I'm saying? So my ability, my access may be limited right now because for me, I really want to hire help. But before I can hire help, I need to stabilize my income. You get what I'm saying? I want support. I want to be able to do more, and I want to be able to hire help to help me in my house of Leo so that I can have more impact on my personal gifts, what I want to do. You get what I'm saying? As the CEO of my business, I want Leo is how I manage others. You get what I'm saying? Through my gifts. So that's where I have to bring more stability through my house of Taurus, which is my eighth house, which means I have to solidify my income. Doesn't say I'm not making money. It just means that in order to hire other people, you're going to have to really level up this house of Taurus. And so for me, that's self discipline, that's tighter management. That's making sure that I'm being consistent. And that's just making sure that I'm keeping my bookkeeping as clear and accurate as possible. So, and investing, to me, investing in training to be able to increase that profitability. You get what I'm saying? Investing my assets and my resources into some sort of learning so that I can improve my ability to market and advertise myself. You get how that works? So looking at your house of Taurus, I hope I didn't confuse you, is really going to help you bring stability to this house of Leo. And that's what this first quarter moon in Leo is really showcasing you, is where you're ready to break ground, because the Aquarius full moon is going to be at this 0 degree. It's actually 2 Aquarius full moons this year, so it's a lot going on this summer, y'all. But it's super important, guys, to pay attention to how your house of Taurus, what it needs, so that you can feel more support and creativity and just overall like self-expression through this house of Leo. So looking at those two houses on the 19th and 20th, and just kind of figuring out how these where you need more stability, or where you need more consistency, or where you need to unstick yourself, is going to be key around these 2 days. So lots of changes. There's slow changes. This is not like a it feels good. This energy is not like stress. And now, unless you have a lot of fixed placements in your chart, and if you have a lot of fixed placements, guys, anytime we start to see a lot of squares or anything like that, oppositions, challenging aspects, that means that you are coming into a potential. You have potential for change. You have potential for transformation at this time. So it's frustrating and it's aggravating and it's overwhelming as it may seem. I always tell people, when we see oppositions and we see squares, this is your time to stand up, not back down. So if you do have a lot of fixed placements in Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, stick it out, and you will feel so much better about yourself when you get to these Virgo and Libra placements, because you are going to start to see some improvement. You're going to start to see where this hard work that you put in around this 19th to the 20th, especially around the 22nd, when we see Venus and Uranus conjunct one another, is going to really pay off. Now on the 20th, um, the moon is going to trine Chiron in Aries on the 20th at the 10th degree of Capricorn at 9:15 p.m. So for a lot of people, there is this sense of healing. There is this sense um, of finally like coming to terms with yourself. A lot of people are really starting to come to terms with themselves. So this is a beautiful night for it's 420. So light up, you know what I'm saying? Do y'all thing. But that's going to be a really nice night, guys, to really just feel like to reward yourself, and to find some healing and doing something creative, doing something to really to express gratitude and to express passion for yourself. So that's a beautiful night. Actually, the moon in Leo is actually going to sextile the North Node in Gemini at 11:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the moon in Leo is also going to trine the South Node in Sagittarius. So 420 night is a really good night in terms of um in terms of just gathering with others and connecting with others and talking with others and just doing something creative with your friends. That is actually, there's going to be some supportive energy on 420 night. Now on at 1:50 a.m. on 421, the moon in Leo is actually going to oppose Saturn in Aquarius. So that if you are up late, you may have some weird dreams or something on 421, just because the moon in Leo is going to become into some opposition with Saturn in Aquarius. So again, you could be having some weird dreams, or if you are up, you may be having some issues with technology. You could be having some issues posting things. Some people's kids may not sleep well on 420. 420, there may be some children may be restless around that time, so just be mindful of that, because this is occurring at the 12th degree of Pisces. So some kids could be really restless, or could be fighting their routine Tuesday night. So getting the littles to bed early is going to be the key, or they may have a hard time sleeping on 420. Now 421, the moon is going to spend the full day in Leo. There are no major aspects, but Mars and Gemini is going to be, I believe, be at the 28th and the 28th or the 29th degree. So Mars is going to be wrapping up its transit in Gemini. So this is going to be a day where people are going to be, when does Mars, the moon align? Yeah, the moon aligns with yeah, the Mars will be the 28th degree. So this is a point too where we are dealing with Cancer. So people may be wrapping up projects. People may be finishing projects behind closed doors, or they may be wrapping up if there was a move, or if you have been wanting to have a conversation with your family, or you've been wanting to, do some work around the home. This is an opportunity to kind of wrap up anything that you may be needing to do, any conversation that you may need to have, any cleaning that you may need to do. Wednesday, with Mars and Gemini being at that 28th degree point of Cancer, it's going to be super important for you to, kind of take it easy and kind of wrap up any important actions that you need to take. So again, anything that is kind of lingering, or that is kind of fluctuating in the background, make sure that you guys kind of eliminate that around April 21st and April 22nd, because April 22nd and April 23rd, Mars will be right at that 29th degree point of Gemini of Leo, which is ruled by Leo. So this is going to be an excellent day for you to publish something. So try to finish something around the 21st if you need to, because if you do have something to launch, or you do have something to share, or you want to, put out a good word or do anything, this is a beautiful day to do it, because the moon will actually align. The moon in Leo is actually going to align with Mars and Gemini at the 29th degree point at 7:58 a.m. So I will be sending out an email at 7:58 a.m. because that is a very beautiful time. The moon is in Leo. This is at the Leo degree, and Mars is in Gemini, and Mars will move into Cancer on the 23rd. So if you have anything that you want to share, you want to send out a proposal, you want to anything, guys, this is going to be a very beautiful day this week to do it. The 22nd, also because Venus is going to be conjunct Uranus at the 10th degree. So Venus is representing the planet of love, the planet of relationships. Venus is representing beauty, money, pleasure, anything that really deals with our senses and stuff like that is going to be ruled by Venus. So Venus is going to be conjunct, which means it is an alignment, which means Uranus and Venus are on the same page. Uranus is bringing energy to Venus. Uranus is supporting Venus. Uranus is aligning with Venus. So Uranus is bringing speed, bringing change, bringing innovation, bringing progress to Venus in your house of Taurus. So your relationships dealing with your house of Taurus. So stability to your relationships, a sense of self-worth when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your money, new opportunities, new ways to make money. A lot of people are going to be trying out new strategies, new plans, planning new ways to earn, to share, to innovate, new technologies, finding new ways to connect and build with one another. Venus conjunct Uranus is really going to bring that energy, especially because it's happening in the sign of Taurus. So there is going to be a lot of changes, guys, to your relationships. So if you've been wanting to spruce things up, if you've been wanting to diversify your income streams or anything like that, this is going to be a very positive day to make some changes to your house of Taurus. So pay attention. And if you have any placements at the 10th degree, making sure that you check that to see your personal transit chart for the day to see if this aligns with any of your placements at that 10th degree. So always make sure, you guys, you are aligning the energy that I'm telling you about with your energy in your personal chart to see if any of these transits align with personal transits happening for you. But yes, Venus conjunct Uranus is a really good day to, again, put the word out there when it comes to your relationships, putting the word out there when it comes to, wanting to start a garden, wanting to bring more plants and, flora to your home. People are really wanting to start to, be more sustainable. People are looking into, to sustainable things. And this is also a period too where, relationships can get a jolt, so people who are wanting to, align and change your overall preferences, like what you're looking for in a partner, this is a really good day. If you want to upgrade something or anything like that, like your asset car, this is in your third house, this may be a good day for that. Just make sure that you're looking at the long-term range and you're looking at the long-term effects of this, because this is going to be happening at that 10th degree of Capricorn. So we'll have some Capricornian undertones to this. So a lot of people are going to be thinking about ownership and, again, business and entrepreneurship and profitability, and just really, again, bringing some increase to your relationships and some increase to your income streams and your house of Taurus, period. So be on the lookout for that. The moon will actually be moving into Virgo at 9:08 a.m. Let's see if the moon is going to be making any transits. So the moon will align. The moon in Virgo is going to trine the sun in Taurus at the 2nd degree at 1:59 p.m. So this is a period where people are going to, feel, this is a period where, look, this is how I feel about trines. You're either going to feel more productive around 2 p.m. on the 22nd. So this afternoon is where people may feel you can get something done. This is also Jupiter day, guys. So there's more opportunity here. There's more prosperity here. There's more room for abundance here. With the moon in Virgo, people are thinking about the specifics. People are thinking about the details. So there is a sense of accuracy and precision and effort. People are going to put more effort. This is a great day for service people, people who do consultations, people who do coaching, especially people who are into the stock market or finances or anything like that. You may see a really good day to invest and to hop in, just because the moon is going to be trine, the sun in Taurus at the 2nd degree, which is Taurus. So that's a really good time to, send out a sales email or to check your stocks or anything like that, to make a payment, anything like that. There's going to be the sense of ease and fluidity there. So good time in the afternoon to kind of focus on, to get some work done. Now at 10:43 p.m. on 4/22, the moon is also going to trine Mercury. So it feels like some of you guys may be working late on the 22nd. This is a day where you could be working late. You could be in communication. This is at the 7th degree point of Libra. So it seems like there may be some sort of service or work. You may be working with other people. You could be having a meeting with someone. You could be teaching someone. I know I'm teaching a class. I did that on purpose. And this is so crazy, y'all, because this aspect directly conjuncts the moon will, the same time the moon will trine Mercury in Taurus, it will be right on top. It will directly conjunct my Venus in Virgo. So I picked that workshop on purpose, at the time frame on purpose too. So again, guys, having these exact moon times for these aspects are key. And this is available for members. I can't find this information anywhere online, exact times and aspects for the moon. Of course, you can find it for the planets, but I have not been able to find it for the moon. And I want this for my supporters because I personally wanted it for myself. And so members will have access to this valuable information. So um, I would sign up just for that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted this information for myself, and I'm like, why I share it with them. So if you guys want this, go ahead and lock in. You know where to find it. But because the moon again, so 10:43, a lot of people are gonna be working late. If you need to have a conversation, if you want to do some any type of late night work and regarding your house of Libra, this would be a really good day to do so. Just because the moon in Virgo is going to be trying Mercury, so the moon is emotion. There's a sense of emotional stability. So where you may, tend to be overwhelmed or overworked, there is a sense of ease and harmony that is going to be happening in terms of your emotional equilibrium to your mental. There's going to be a lot of insights, and you can process information a lot easier when the moon is going to be intertwined to Mercury. So this is a really good time to learn and to learn from others and to connect with others and things like that. So really good day, guys. To again, if you are in service, if you are in any type of service industry or you work with people, human resources, but if you sell to others, it doesn't matter what it is. If you sell anything or you want to start selling something or you want to start investing or you want to start your financial journey or you want to start anything like a garden or something, guys, this is a really beautiful day to do it because the moon in Virgo is going to make some nice trines all day, pretty much, afternoon to these Taurus placements. Now at 2:52 a.m. on the 23rd, the moon in Virgo is going to trine Uranus. So this is, depending on your time zone, this is Eastern Standard Time, guys. All of these are in Eastern Standard Time. So if you are up late, this is again a good day to make some changes. So overall, the 22nd is is a very favorable time period. But some people should maybe up late trading. If you're up late, you could do some really good, you could find some alignment, some easy, make some easy money. I mean, easy money around 2:52 a.m. You may see some nice dips to get in, or definitely some nice dips to get in, or just there's definitely some ease. Some of you actually may make some money in your sleep. Some of you may wake up and realize that you made some sales while you slept. So this could be like before you go to bed, like send out an email, a late night email, guys, like around 10:30, like a reminder, like, hey, last push. I'm telling y'all, you can make some money while y'all sleep. So don't sleep on the 22nd to the 23rd because there's some favorable energy happening going on, especially for my earth signs. Easy money for my earth signs. And definitely could find some support too for my water signs. Now, I'm trying to see. Yeah, because at 3:23 on 4:23 at 3:23 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Virgo is also going to trine Venus in Taurus at the 10th degree. So again, Venus deals with money. Venus deals with relationships. So excellent time, guys, to just stay up late if possible, or if not, set up your system so that it can go out. And when you wake up in the morning, it's already there. A lot of you need to be focusing on automation this week. With Taurus, we're in Taurus season. The focus for you is going to be on how can you automate your systems to do things with as much ease and as much proficiency as possible. But it should require, you want to minimize effort and maximize results. You know what I'm saying? So how can you automate? How can you systemize? How can you set up these systems with Taurus, these Taurus placements at this 10th degree of Capricorn? You get what I'm saying? Uranus right now, the changes that you need to make, the changes that you want to make are going to come through you setting up more solidified systems. You need to set up a system that people can easily identify, connect, and see value in. And I'm learning that for myself as well. Like even with the Insights Club, the value factor of the Insights Club needs to speak for itself. And so that's where a lot of people need to focus their energy, is not so much on effort and being first and all of this other stuff, but really slowing down and getting to know your product, getting to know your niche, getting to know your market, so you can understand what the fundamental needs are. What are the needs of your niche? What are the needs of your business so that you can meet them, or the needs of your relationship, or the needs of your body? Really starting to pay attention so that you can set up a system and make a long-term plan that will continue to support you over time. You don't want to have to keep putting energy into this house, y'all. You want to set up a system. So if you do not have a system yet, a website or whatever, where people can easily contact you or easily do whatever it is that you need to do, this is going to be the time period where you are starting to think about those things. Like, what systems do I need to set up for myself so that my life can flow more efficiently? That is what this energy around this time period, the 21st to the 23rd, is kind of telling you. Now on the 23rd, now that morning, there may be we do start to move into some tricky energy on later on the 23rd. Just because the moon is going to square the north node in Gemini and Sagittarius at 4:48 a.m. at the 11th degree. So some people, there could be some news that breaks in the collective. There could be some very alarming news coming out in the collective. Going on around the Mars and Cancer. The Mars is in Gemini at that 29th degree point at that time. And so people are ready to take action. People are really ready to take it to the streets. Um, so there could be a lot of confusion and needing to address things head on, needing to address something first thing in the morning. You may have to address an email, or so I would also tell people too, on the 23rd, this is a morning too where you don't wake up and check your email first thing. You may have made money last night and stuff like that, but I would actually try to wake up on the 23rd and meditate first and get your mind right. Because at 7:13 a.m. the moon in Virgo is also going to be in conjunct Saturn in Aquarius at the 12th degree. There's something going on with the collective on Friday, y'all. Like, something's happening that morning. At the 12th, a loss or protest or something. It's something happening though that morning for the moon in Virgo to square the north node in Gemini. People are gathering, and then for it to in conjunct Saturn in Aquarius 3 hours later. Yeah, and at the 12th degree of Pisces, there's something going on in the collective. So definitely, guys, please take a moment on the 23rd. Do not wake up and first get on social media. Do not wake up and get on and check your email. I know I said something's going on that night where people are gathering. There could be, I don't know, something going on at night, y'all. But definitely make sure that you are waking up in the morning and just grounding yourself and meditating and making sure that you are not getting on the internet. First thing Friday morning, do not wake up first thing Friday morning and check your email and get on the internet. Please, y'all. I'm posting this on Wednesday, so I'm telling you in advance. Do not wake up on Friday first thing in the morning and check the internet. Wake up and ground yourself. Please meditate. Do whatever it is that you need to do. Mars, again, will be moving into Cancer at 7:48 a.m. Mars will be here until June 11th. So Mars is focusing on our behaviors, the planet of action, the planet of willpower, how we behave, how we project our physical energy. And so with Mars being and moving from Gemini to Cancer, Mars in Gemini was all about action through the mind, action through writing, action through studies, action through connections with other people, forward movement and things like that through others, learning with others, connecting with others, acting in partnership with with our peers, really thinking a lot of focus on early childhood. There's a lot of emphasis on travel. A lot of people were taking road trips during this period. There was a lot of movement. There was a lot of progress with the music industry reopening and restaurants reopening and venues reopening. A lot of those issues came up and out with Mars in Gemini. Now with Mars in Cancer, there's going to be a lot of focus on women. A lot of focus on women, guys. A lot of focus on women's rights, women's violence against women, of course, Mother's Day is going to be during this period, but there's going to be a lot of focus this transit during these next couple of weeks on women and women's bodies and women's reproductive systems, especially with this full moon in Scorpio, like, coming up. There's definitely going to be a lot of focus, guys, on women and on the home and taking action. A lot of people are going to be taking action on the home, or some people are going to be spending more time with home, or some people may be spending more time with family, focusing more on family, focusing more on building a foundation. A lot of people, when we talk about Mars, again, this is action. When we talk about Cancer, Cancer is our foundation. Cancer is our stability, our sense of how we want to retire, what's going on for us in the background, our short-term security, the foundation that we build for ourselves so that we can build that sense of legacy and generational wealth and have a public image and have a public reputation and career through the 10th house. But you can't do all of that if your home life is unstable, if you're not grounded, if you don't have a good solid foundation. And so that's where a lot of people's focus is going to be from April 23rd until June 11th, is going to be focusing on really building a foundation for oneself. And this is going to be highlighted through your house of Cancer. So whatever house of Cancer rules in your chart is where you're going to be putting this Mars energy. This is where you're going to want to act. This is where you're going to want to fight. This is where you're going to want to show up. But collectively, there is going to be a fight for women, or about women, or about mothers, or about caretakers. This could be dealing sometimes, guys, with the elderly, just because Mars at some point is going to align in and oppose Pluto, which at that point will be retrograde. So there may be some changes or some issues in the elder care system, issues with elders, or issues with retirement, people's 401ks account, things like that. You get what I'm saying? So pay attention to your short-term investments. This is also going to be a time where people are going to want to start to build a foundation for themselves. Some people may be, moving or are thinking about building a home, just because Taurus is all about, stability, building an area of comfort. So some people are going to be building a home, making some active measures to make the home more comfortable, just depending on what house Cancer rules for you. So be mindful of that as well. Just be mindful of what house Cancer rules for you. So Cancer in my chart rules my 10th house. So I'm going to be putting a lot of focus in my 10th house of Cancer on my career. And it's so funny because my MC is in Cancer, and my mom is my business partner, and we are starting up a whole new little venture because she runs my foods company for me. She's like head honcho over my vegan foods company. So we are launching some new ebooks in a couple of weeks. And so we're actually meeting. We have our first meeting on Saturday, and I did that on purpose because Mercury is conjunct Uranus. So yeah, we have our first actual meeting for the new ebooks thing on Saturday. So pay attention, y'all, for what Cancer rules in your house, and see where you're starting to take action. Like, one of my friends is an Aries rising, and they're actually moving into their house, which is it rules their 4th house of home, on the 23rd. Literally, they're closing on their house on the 23rd, and they're moving in on the 24th. So pay attention, guys, to like where these placements fall in your personal chart. Just do not watch this video and be like, oh, Mars is moving into Cancer. No, how is Mars and Cancer going to affect you personally? That is where you will want to know. And if you don't know how this is going to affect you, please do yourself a favor and go watch the monthly forecast. There are 12 videos, like 20 to 30 minutes each, and a lot of them do give you some insights into Mars and Cancer. And if those don't, part 2 of the monthly forecast is available for members on the Insiders Club, and part 2 goes very in depth into everything that is going to be happening from the 20th until the 30th, and then the beginning of May. So if you haven't checked those videos out, the monthly forecast, I highly recommend that you do. What else is happening on the 23rd? Let's see. So the moon in Virgo is going to oppose Neptune in Pisces at 11 o'clock. So things can get weird. Friday night. It's at the 22nd degree of Capricorn too. So this is definitely dealing with like people wanting to come together in terms of their community. And like, I don't know, guys, I definitely think there's going to be some serious protesting or some sort of uh, facts coming into the light. You know what I'm saying? Some sort of news that is being broken, or health issues, or you know, differences in terms of like yeah, I don't know, there's some logistics, some facts, or something is going to be coming out. Some of you may need to pay attention to your scheduling. There may be an overlap in scheduling, or you may be overworking yourself, and you're starting to feel the consequences of that come Friday night. Just because, you know, especially when we talk about your house of Virgo. So for me, Virgo is my 12th house. And so opposing my Neptune and my in Pisces in my sixth house of at the 22nd degree. And this is Capricorn. So Capricorn rules my fourth house. So definitely I know that I need sleep. This is going to be a period where like a lot of people, you know, are going to be feeling super sleepy. Neptune rules sleep. So people are going to be feeling a little restless. You know, you've had a long week. So definitely I don't think people are going to want to be you know, gathering with friends and stuff like that. Friday night, you kind of just want to keep it simple. Just keep it simple Friday night, guys. You know, unless you want to get caught in some confusion. There's definitely some confusion. Um, you know, somebody could be having mixed signals. Like there could be mixed signals being sent out emotionally. Like one person feels like, you know, somebody could be feeling like they're being taken advantage of too. That's kind of what this is kind of reading out to me. It's like emotionally feeling manipulated. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of like how much you're giving, especially to your house of Capricorn. Like how much are you giving to your house of Capricorn? Like how much are you receiving from your house of Capricorn? You're putting in a lot of energy into this, but like, are you receiving what you want from it? So just make sure that you're not, you know, lying to yourself, or lying to others, or being manipulated or manipulating. Just be mindful that like you're being honest about what you really want and what you really need. And then on the 24th, we are going to see Mercury conjunct Uranus. So Mercury is going to conjunct Uranus at the 10th degree point. This is going to be a very powerful day in terms of just new ideas, like really, again, creating new ideas that are actually going to be sustainable. You get what I'm saying? Mercury in Aries was a really good time for you to start experimenting, and seeing, you know, testing things out. That was a really good time to do some case studies. But starting from, you know, April 24th on, now you are really wanting to solidify, lock something down, locking down a plan, getting something set in stone, you know, having that conversation to kind of to make that first step. You're wanting to make the first step in your long-term journey. So a lot of people are going to be, again, making some first steps this week in your house of Taurus. So be mindful of that. You know, a really good time to, again, think about investing. If you don't know anything about investing and you don't want to jump right in, this is a good time to learn. This is a good time to educate yourself. This is a good time to take a class, to get a mentor, to do a budget. This is a really just good time to kind of like, you know, get your plans in order, because the moon is going to be moving into Libra at 12:06 p.m. And the moon in Libra is actually going to square Mars in Cancer at 1:15. So, you know, there is going to be a little bit of, you know, issues in terms of like, I don't know, some of you, especially like if you have kids or anything like that, like this may be a weekend where you kind of want to spend some time with yourself and things, but there's a lot of responsibility on the home front. You know, some of you could be, you know, you could be, you could have responsibilities in different places at the same time. Like you may need to you're trying to be in more than one place at once. Some people, this is like scheduling. Libras tend to schedule multiple things on the same day. I'm a Libra, so I know. Okay, and all my Libra friends do it. Really, I'm like, what's your schedule like today? And we're trying to meet for lunch, and I'm like, girl, we only got a 45-minute window. So, and I'm getting out of that habit too. But this is also a time too where I feel like people are like over planning. So just make sure you keep your weekend plans simple, because unexpected things are gonna pop up. Especially when we talk about um Sunday, because Sunday we'll see Mercury conjunct Venus in Aries. I mean, in Taurus at the 13th degree, which is ruled by Aries. So there is this breakthrough in communication. Like there is this idea where something really takes off. You really do get to see this idea take off, or this relationship can really start to go somewhere. You really start to feel connected to this person, and there is a sense of excitement, and there is a sense of passion, and eagerness for what is to come from whatever you are starting around the 22nd, the 24th, and the 25th. There's like this sense of eagerness and excitement for what's to come. But I do want to remind you guys that Mercury is going to square Saturn, and Venus is also going to square Saturn. In they're both in Taurus, so Mercury and Venus are in Taurus, are going to square Saturn in Aquarius at this 12th degree. So there is some discrepancies, some deep discrepancies, and some serious power struggles in regards to what the collective, what authorities over the collective, so the people who work behind the scenes, because this is Pisces, so these are people that you can't see. This is the unknown. So the unknown forces of the collective, those big dogs, that 1% that we know run the collective, there is going to be some discrepancies between how the collective, the needs of the people, and what they're telling us, or what they're showing us. So there is definitely going to be some power struggles, y'all, this weekend, in regards to like flushing things out and calling things for where they are, and starting to see the unknown, how these unknown forces are kind of manipulating different resources. And this energy also came out around the same time that there was the big snowstorm happened in Texas, where the government was playing with resources and electricity and who got what. It was that same type of energy. So just be mindful that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because on the 23rd, is it the 23rd? Yeah, I already started to feel some manipulation happening at 11:07 p.m. So just be mindful on the 25th that, like, the moon is in Libra. I did not look and see when the moon actually squares Pluto. Darn it, but I don't have those times. I don't know why I thought the weekly horoscope stopped at the 25th. If you are an Insight member, you'll get the email when I send it out with the list. So make sure an Insight member, so I can give you specific times for the moon on the 25th. I don't have those right now because I stopped at the 24th. But I will send those out to the members. So, but yeah, guys, just make sure, be mindful of that. Be mindful of, be mindful of those unseen forces. Be mindful of who you're trusting, who you're investing in, what you're investing in, and the people. Just be mindful of who you're putting your trust in, and doing your fact check, and just making sure that people are solid. You get what I'm saying? Because there is some news that is breaking. There is something that is really coming to the surface, and we need to pay attention to that. So overall, this week is really good. This is a very opportune week to break out, and especially in this house of Taurus, having some really good opportunities to diversify, and to put yourself out there, and to create more sustainability. For a lot of people, can start to build a more comfortable lifestyle, more pleasurable lifestyle, more leisure centered lifestyle. But right now, you're just starting to come into what that looks like. You're starting to make your plans, right? Because Uranus is at that 10th degree point of Capricorn. You're starting to make those plans. You're starting to get the system down. You know what I'm saying? The system is starting to get down. So just be mindful with yourself with that. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me. Now let's go ahead and get into these weekly messages. So we're gonna go to Canva and start the Prezi, so I can have the signs. Presentation. And no, guys, I don't edit these videos no more, so y'all get to see all the downtime. But that's cool. That's because we have timestamps for. What you doing, computer? Of course you want to go slow now. Present. All right, air signs. All right, air signs. So this is a big week for you, where you need to ground down and tighten up. All right. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, the Sun and Mercury are joining Venus and Uranus in Taurus. And so for a lot of you guys, this is in your water houses. So there's going to be a lot of focus on you you having to get serious about your foundation, about what you are investing your time into. So a lot of Libras, Geminis, and Aquariuses are going to have some opportunities to make those first steps this week. You're going to have those first steps opportunities to, really get grounded in terms of what you want for your future, and not just getting grounded about what you want, but also like creating a game plan about how you're going to get there. So a lot of Geminis, Libras, and Aquariuses are feeling very grounded and feeling very rooted in the work that needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Aries season brought that awareness to you. It brought the awareness of your relationships. It brought the awareness of your desire for intimacy, your desire for connection, your desire for playfulness, your desire to just experience more of life. Air signs want to experience more life. You're not so focused anymore on being wealthy and having this and having that. It's not, you realize that it's not the materialism that you're seeking. It's the stability, it's the flexibility, it's the freedom that having material wealth brings you. And so your intentions are similar, but your motive has changed. And so a lot of air signs will realize that your lack of consistency, your lack of passion didn't come from, laziness or you not wanting to, but just a sense of like not really knowing what the motivation was, not having this sense of determination. You know what I'm saying? You were fluctuating. Air signs are all dual. You know what I'm saying? You have so many dual aspects to you. And so sometimes it's hard for you to stay decisive. And so, one minute your motivating factor is your family, the next minute your motivating factor is your health. And so a lot of air signs need to realize that the only motivating factor that there is yourself, is being happy with yourself and accepting that happiness looks different every day. But you also need to make sure that just because things are always fluctuating doesn't mean that you always have to fluctuate too. You need to learn how to stay grounded during moments of change. And that's what this week really brings for a lot of air signs, is not just an opportunity to talk about it, but an opportunity to really start to put those realizations into practice. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of you are going to see a lot of improvement in terms of your overall foundation, your investments, your home, your family life, your financial life. You get what I'm saying? Even in terms of you wanting to help other people and teach other people and showcase other people, like where you are, where your growth is coming from. Some air signs, just depending on your placements in your personal chart, may be getting asked questions like, well, what do you do and how do you do it? Because they're starting to see you implement your personal system. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful that there are going to be times where you feel, a little bored or a little overwhelmed by like having to be so repetitive, that sense of repetition. But I'm telling you, if you can stay repetitive, if you can keep up with your routine and you can stay grounded in it, you will find that like in the next 6 weeks, your routine has given you so much freedom that like now all of the things that you were wanting to do before, you have not only the resources to do it, but you have the time, because all of the little moments that you were wasting, you are now using to your advantage. So a lot of air signs are really just tightening the reins this week. This is a week where you're really focusing on tightening the reins, and just asking yourself, like, where do I want to, express more, and how do I bring more stability to this expression, especially with the moon and Leo making some really favorable aspects to Mars in Gemini and Chiron in Aries. So there is going to be this sense of healing in terms of your confidence. You know what I'm saying? In terms of your relationship with the collective, in terms of your relationship with others, where you were once insecure, you're now feeling very supported. And so just be mindful of that. Now, some of you will have to take rest this weekend. Later this week, around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you may start to realize that, all of the activity, all of the work and energy that you put into yourself is starting to catch up with you. So slow down this weekend. The moon will be in a waxing gibbous phase in Libra, so it will be trine. So you can have some very beautiful conversations this week, but you also just want to make sure that you are preparing yourself for the full moon in Scorpio that's going to hit next week. So take advantage and make some connections this weekend. You can really come into contact with some people from your past, or some of the things that happened around the Libra full moon last month are starting to catch back up with you now, and you're starting to realize what that was about and how that was working out for your favor. So just be mindful. Again, there may be some challenges in terms of just your career and your work, and trying to stay balanced with Mars moving into Cancer and affecting those work houses, but just stay grounded, air signs. The biggest thing for you is going to be repetition, creating a schedule and a routine that you love. You get what I'm saying? That involves creativity, involves flexibility, all the things that you need, but you need a sense of repetition to keep you grounded. Otherwise, every time the earth change orbit, you know what I'm saying, spin a little bit, you're going to be on a whole new wave. So finding groundedness through repetition is going to be completely key for my air sign folks this week. Now, fire signs, this week is asking you to really slow down, and realizing what project. So for some of you, you're going to be refining. A lot of fire signs are going to be in this period of refining. You're going to be refining your interests. You're going to be refining your bandwidth. A lot of you have kind of been you've had this huge scope. You know what I'm saying? And now you're starting to bring your scope back in, because before you felt like the more the merrier, the more I do, the faster I do it, the brighter it is. Like you felt like the brighter the better, and the louder the better, and the faster the better, and the more the better. And that's not the case for fire signs. It's really about having the being in the right place at the right time, and doing the right thing at the right time, and doing what feels right for you. It's not about how much you have or how much you do it. For a lot of fire signs, it's really less is more. So you coming into this period of refinement and bringing your bandwidth, your scope, narrowing your scope, gives you access to really penetrate whatever it is that you're trying to specialize. So a lot of fire signs need to focus on specialization. What are you trying to specialize in? What is your specialty? What is your niche? What is your thing? That is what this week is really trying to get you to pinpoint down, is what is your thing. And once you figure out what your thing is, how are you really going to step into that and take it and ride that to its fullest potential? Because you picking a trade, and I know for some people this feels limiting, and fire signs don't never like to feel limited, but you being very specific about what it is that you're trying to do, and what you do, and how you do it, and who you're doing it for, you can become a leader in that niche very fast, very easily. Fire signs fire signs get frustrated because they know what they're capable of, and they know that other people know what they're capable of, but they can't express it to its completion because you haven't picked. People don't really know what to call. People don't really know. You ever been around people and they're like, man, she's so talented, she's so this, but I don't know what she does. That's kind of like what fire signs are feeling right now. You need to introduce yourself to people. If you got a website, if you have followers, I don't care if you got 50,000 followers, reintroduce yourself to your audience. Make it very clear to your audience what it is that you do for them and why they should do it with you. Fire signs need to be specific. When you're sending out your resume, when you're sending out that proposal, when you're making that call, you need to make that person know. They should get off that phone knowing why they need you, because you are you. You don't need to tell them, you need to sell yourself. Fire signs need to really refine and get right within themselves, get their scope clear, so that people can easily target you. You need to refine, get clear about what it is that you specialize in. You are so talented and you are ready. So many fire signs are ready. They are equipped with the tools that y'all need to take off, but you are so scattered right now internally that other people feel that frazzleness. And so they want to work with you, but they don't really know because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know, how you expect for somebody else to know? You're asking for other people to tell you who you are. Stop asking or giving people permission to tell you who you are because you don't know. You have to figure out who you are and be very, you need to bring that, you need to be able to tell people who you are in one sentence. One sentence. Yes, I know humans are expansive and we diverse and we want to say that we so complex and everybody want to have 50 different labels, but that is really confusing to people who really want to work with you and people who really need your services and you really want to serve these people and they cannot find you because you haven't defined yourselves. You haven't made it clear to them what it is that you're looking for. So for a lot of fire signs this week for you is about refinement, getting refined, refining your scope. Who are you? Introducing yourselves to people. People need to know how can they contact you? Some of you know, some of you have specified, but you haven't made yourself available. You don't have a website. You don't have, people don't know what you do by when they go to your social media. They can't tell. You hiding in the dark. How you shining in the dark? Can't nobody see you. Can't nobody see you. So you shining for yourself, and that's cool and all, but like how long you gonna shine for yourself and then be sad and miserable and all depressed because nobody's congratulating you. Nobody can congratulate you if you won't tell them. So some of you have an audience. Some of you have already done everything that I'm telling you to do, but you aren't engaging with them. You're not talking to them frequently enough. You need a newsletter. You need a weekly video. You need some way to communicate with these people frequently so they can stay in contact with you. You're missing out. Some fire signs are really missing out because you haven't refined and you think that you have to do more when you don't. You just need to, people will flock to you. People will flock to you. But you need to make it very clear on your value so it can speak for itself. A lot of fire signs are going to start to see that your energy is really going to speak for itself. But the more that you refine and the more you identify and get in touch with who you are and you get in touch with your roots and your core needs and who you are from a very internal perspective, that same energy, that same light that is authentic to you is going to shine to everyone else. So just spend some time getting to know yourself and getting to fall in love with yourself and becoming clear and confident on who you are. You need to refine. You need to get specific, fire signs. You too broad right now. Specialize. Love you guys. Peace. All right, earth signs. What is up? What is up with you? This is a fun week. This is a week where a lot of you, especially Tauruses, Taurus rising, Taurus moons, Taurus suns, you're coming into your lunar rising and your solar return. Virgos and Capricorns, or people with strong Virgo and Capricorn placements, are going to be feeling some alignment and some trine energy. So things are going to start to feel like a lot more easy, where you may have been feeling a little burnt out or tired during Aries season. Your energy, your reserve levels are going to be coming back. The same time though, guys, whenever we start to see too much energy in one sign, especially your sign, if you have a lot of earth in your chart, you can get really lazy. And the only reason why I say that is because this is like, it's your energy. So of course, like, you can either use that energy to do more of the things that you do, or you can use that energy to find a way to make an excuse about not doing it because you're already so good at it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, why should I have to, like, I already, I already have enough, I feel comfortable. So this is a period where a lot of earth signs are going to feel like they are either really wanting to just enjoy the moment and not push. Like, a lot of earth signs are just like maybe coming into the sense of flow, where it's like, I don't really want to push. But because Uranus is going to be extremely active this week, especially with it being at the 10th degree of Capricorn, which is an earth degree, and also because it is going to be in Taurus, which is an earth sign, there is going to be momentum for you to make some changes. to make some improvements to just your overall like life vitality. Like again, you're kind of like where air signs were a couple weeks ago. Like you're wanting to like live life more, you're wanting to experience more comfort, you're wanting to experience more creativity, like you're wanting to expand your personal interest. Like this isn't a week where you're thinking about business, or you're not thinking about like, and I mean, some of you are, because a lot of earth signs, you naturally like what you make money and what you love. You make money through doing what you love. Just because your earth houses are your creativity houses. So you naturally tend to make money doing something you love. But this is also a period too where like you're starting to realize that it's not always about the monetary gain for you. Sometimes it's just about the experience. And so a lot of earth signs are wanting to have more experiences. You're wanting to connect more. You're wanting to get involved more. You're wanting to play more. You're wanting to travel more. You're wanting to get active. You're wanting to experience the more pleasurable sides of life. You're wanting to eat out more. You're wanting to travel. You're wanting to take a vacation. And some of you are going to have that opportunity to do it. If you've been wanting a break, if you've been wanting some downtime, this is going to be an opportunity for you to do it. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be this week, just because Saturn is going to be, Saturn is going to be hitting your finances. So some of you are going to have to like, you're going to have some responsibilities, obligations that you have to take care of. But this is going to be a period too where you're starting to realize like, where you are ready to just show up more. Like a lot of earth signs, this is just a week where you're just ready. You want to have a good week. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a week where you're just starting to realize like, you know what? I actually just want to enjoy my life more, and I want to do more of the things that I love, and find more time for romance, and finding more time for my children, and just wanting to be with other people more, and wanting to do the things that you really love and that bring joy to your heart. So earth signs are going to be in that place of just really wanting to have fun, so not taking things so seriously, not taking your work so seriously, and not taking your long-term goals so serious, and realizing that like the more that you lighten up and the more that you allow yourself to just enjoy the moment and to enjoy the experience, the more pleasure that you will find out of life, and the more that you'll realize that like the life that you're really wanting, a lot of you already have, but you just may not be giving yourself the space to like really just take advantage of it. You probably already have the free time. You probably already have, some of you have the money too. Like some of you have the resources to do the things that you want to do. You're just not doing them. So for some I say Virgos, for some earth signs, maybe Virgos, it's gonna be as simple as you just doing it. You deciding to do it. And then for some signs, it's also going to be just as much as like you you not you not doing it. Like some of you are also like intentionally doing things that sabotage your ability to just like stay in your flow. Like you do things that are distracting to you, or you do things that are disruptive to you. Especially when the moon is in Leo midweek, like this is going to be an opportunity for you to kind of really slow down and reflect, and see where you may be giving some of your passion away, or where you may be dwindling some of your creativity, or where you may be self-sabotaging. A lot of earth signs are going to be realizing that when the moon is in Leo, having an opportunity to really reflect on where you are silencing yourself, or where you're taking things too seriously, or where you are being too risky, or where you are being, over dramatic. You're dramatizing something. That is going to be a big thing for earth signs. So pay attention to the 20, let's see, the 20th through the 22nd. Pay attention to those energies, how you're feeling, what's coming up for you, what's coming up in your dreams, what's coming up in your meditations. Where is spirit telling you that you need to take more action, to be more prompt, to be more productive, to be more proactive, to express yourself more, to utilize your people skills. A lot of earth signs have great people skills. Are you using your people skills? Are you connecting with people on a daily basis? Are you out there? Are you connecting? Big thing for earth signs this week. So I love you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Water signs. All right, water signs. So this week you are going for a swim. You're definitely in a space this week though with the moon starting out in Cancer. You're starting off this week, putting a lot of focus on like your personal needs and really getting in touch with yourself, getting in touch with your sense of equilibrium, um, really just kind of like processing your emotions, processing the events of last week. Like you start this week off in a very like quiet state, um, where you're really starting to realize like where you're looking forward to having more support um and to building relationships with new people. Some of you are quietly having interviews, some of you are quietly building connections and networking, and some of those connections and things like that will start to show themselves around the Scorpio full moon next week. But this is an opportunity for you to really get in touch with your long-term desires, especially on the 19th, like on Monday, when Monday morning, like when the moon is going to trine Neptune and Pisces, 22nd degree. A lot of you are thinking about like your career, um, and your long-term goals, and the relationship that you want to have with other people. You're thinking a lot about like where do I want, like what are my dreams, what are my visions, what are my goals, how do I want to express myself for the long term? Like, what is the path that I want to take? A lot of you aren't in a rush, you know what I'm saying, to get to anywhere, because you're just kind of taking your time to figure out what direction it is that you're actually going. Um, but there is also too like a sense of you not really not paying attention to like what other people may be telling you. Like it could be to a lot of water signs are getting a lot of really good advice, or maybe going to therapy or having these important conversations, and you not wanting to hear somebody, or you not wanting to listen, you not wanting to see things as they are. It's not even that you don't see things, but a lot of water signs need to come away this week from feeding themselves illusion, and telling themselves that this is a good situation when it's not. Like some of you need to stop talking yourself into bullshit. Like you talk yourself into situations that you know that have no business being a part of your life. And so that's going to be a big thing too, where you are eliminating this week your habits of self-sabotage and inner resistance. Like you're realizing where you may be resisting change, and you're realizing where you may be resisting connection. Like a lot of you were thinking about like your relationships, building relationships with others. And if you are single, if you are feel like you're having trouble not finding somebody, like asking yourself too, like, are you listening to your intuition when it comes to your partner? Some of you are not listening to your gut. And this week reminds you that this is a time that you have to really trust your instincts. Especially yeah, especially like when the moon moves into Leo and you're starting to think a lot about, your needs, and you're starting to think about your responsibilities and your preferences, and when it comes to like romance, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to sex, like a lot of you need to make sure that you are choosing people who actually support your desires. Like some of you are with the moon being square, all those Taurus placements, some of you may be subconsciously like choosing people who do not fulfill you, or jobs that do not fulfill you, or and this is like this is showing you your pattern. So like before, you may have been oblivious to the fact that like you go into a situation and this person from rip cannot fulfill you, like from the jump they can't do anything for you, but you not really being clear about your own intentions and your own motivations kind of like blocks that. And so this moon in Leo is like, nah, we're going to show you what's really going on underneath the surface, and we're going to show you what you really want and what you're ready for. So a lot of water signs are moving up. You're moving into this level of ascension of like, this is what I'm ready for, and this is going to be coming through advancing through your connections with other people, building relationships with your peers, networking. A lot of water signs need to network. This is your time to network. This is your time to get out your box, and this is your week to make these changes. Connect with people. Mercury is going to be aligning with or your Uranus on the 24th. Venus is going to be aligning with Uranus on the 22nd. Mercury and Venus are going to conjunct on the 25th. So this is your week to make these connections. Start reaching out now. You need to be the one to put the first move out there. Stop waiting for people to come to you. Stop waiting for people to realize your gifts. Nobody is gonna realize your gifts until you start making people. You get what I'm saying? You have to make people do this, and you do that by just showing up for yourself. You don't gotta stalk nobody. But some of you do. Some of you need to be sending 2-3 emails. Some of you need to put some fire behind your efforts. Like, you need to really put some energy behind your desire to connect with other people. Some of you have just been way too passive recently, and way too self-sabotaging, and you have to continue, and this is going to come through, again, you building connections with other people. That job may come through a referral, somebody that so telling people in your circle what's going on and how they can help you is going to be so beneficial, because you never know who your friend knows. So just putting out a word on your social media, like, hey, I'm looking for this, or tell your friends, like, hey, if you know anybody, like, you just putting out a word can really bring a lot of opportunity for water placements this week if you take advantage and just put yourself out of your comfort zone. But you have to be able to talk about things. You have to be willing to express. You have to be willing to be vulnerable in order for you to see improvements. So, again, get active, make those connections, put that word out there, send out those emails, send out those texts, send out that resume, send out that portfolio. You know what I'm saying? Make it known, make it shake. Let people know what you're doing. Stop working behind the scenes. This is not the time for y'all to hide. You've been hiding. We get it. But, like, this is the time for you to show up front and center stage and show people what you've been working on. Stop, lick your wounds, but lick your wounds at night, okay? Because during the day, you need to get active. You have got to stop making excuses for your emotions. And I'm not being insensitive, but water signs can really use that water sign shit, y'all, to y'all advantage. And you're going to have to learn how to deal with them emotions, baby. You're going to have to find ways to redirect the energy throughout your chart, because if not, like, you can never allow the energy of your chart to be your excuse. Like, it can't be. Everybody has a chart, man, and you had that chart for a reason. So utilizing that water to flow. Water wants to flow. Water starts to stink when it gets stagnant. It stinks. Have you been around a stanky, stagnant pond? It stinks. When water is dirty and it doesn't move, it becomes murky. And you're the same way. If you don't move, when you get stuck and you become an ice cube, and you don't talk about things, and we're in fixed energy, when you stop flowing, you stink, water signs, and nobody wants to be around you. You don't want to be around yourself. So a lot of you need to stop staying still, and you need to when you feel low, that means you need to move your body, change your room, change the furniture in your room, paint the room. You need to make some, you got to create some movement. You know what I'm saying? Because water generates energy through movement. That's how you get hydro energy. You have to get the water moving. So if you feel lack, you got to get moving, water signs. You got to stir it up. You got to create some energy. You know what I'm saying? Because right now we don't have fire. So now you don't feel burned. Some water gets burned. It gets scorched. Either it boils or it gets scorched. You burn it out. So you got it. I'm telling y'all, water signs, if y'all been stuck, y'all been stagnant, y'all been in y'all feelings, I feel you. I'm praying for you. I hope you feel better. But I am not your babysitter, and I'm not going to hold your hand. I don't care about your feelings like that. You need to get moving, because you cannot keep blaming everything on your mama and your abandonment issues and everything else. You have got, in your lack of ability to talk about your emotions, you have got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because your relationships are dependent on it. Your friendships, you need to network. There are people out there who you need to be connected with, and you can't connect with people when you're in your room crying. So work on what you need to work on so that you can come out that box and start connecting and networking with people, because you're missing out on opportunities by just sitting in that room crying, or you know what I'm saying, writing those poems in that book that nobody has even read that book. Why has nobody read your poetry? Why has nobody ever heard your song? Why does nobody know what you're doing? We need to know what you're doing, water signs. You need to tell us. You need to tell us. So I love you guys. Bye. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.